SR&BG and Breaking the Loop. Jesus. Why was Jesus executed? Now, his name might not be Jesus. I don't know, man, but you know who the hell I'm talking about. Why did this guy, the cure, the Messiah, the chosen one, why was he executed? Now, when I was young, when I was about 8, 9 years old, and I heard the story of him being whipped, having to carry his own cross, how humiliating is that, man? First you get whipped, you got 2 black eyes, a broke nose, and you still have to carry your cross. And them crosses wasn't light, man. That's why I say Jesus and the prophets had body gangs. They wasn't just no little pushovers. So when I'm listening to this story of this guy who got whipped, carried his cross, got hung on the cross, got stabbed on the side, and passed away, I thought that the people who did that were savages and thugs, criminals. I thought that they had 3 strikes, man. They was on hard rock cocaine. Back then they had to have hard rock cocaine. I thought that. I thought that these people who went against the chosen one, the Messiah, Jesus, was on Sherm. But as I got older, as I got more mature and wiser, I realized that these people who went against the Messiah, the chosen ones, they wasn't the Sherm heads. They wasn't the gangsters and the tax collector. You see, because the chosen one, he chilled inside the hood. He was from the hood. He had that type of mentality. So it wasn't those people. People even looked at Jesus and was like, why are you hanging with Big Tookie? Why are you hanging with gangbangers and tax collectors and people like that? So it wasn't those people. It was the people who was running the church. The same people you see now. Those people. These people. It's the people who executed Jesus. So then I started thinking, why would the church take out the cure? I mean, they've been preaching all this time about how good the Most High is and the Sabbath and the 10 Commandments and reading out the Bible. And all of a sudden, the Bible, the whole Bible, come in flesh. And they reject it. But it wasn't the thugs. It wasn't the Crips and the Bloods and the dope dealers. It was the people in the church. So I started asking why. Why was it them? How was Jesus? How did they even view Jesus? I mean, let me talk about Jesus, right? Let me talk about the Messiah, the chosen one, the example, the cure to all the parasites. I mean, these parasites really feared this dude. I mean, if I become a gangbanger, I'm going to name myself Jesus. Now, I ain't going to become a gangbanger and I ain't going to name myself Jesus. I mean, I'm just giving you an example of how powerful this dude is. He came out the womb and he seen the programs. He lived outside the loop. He didn't go to funerals. Nope. He said, let the dead bury the dead. He didn't want their money. He said, give what Caesar is what Caesar's. Give him back his money. Everybody that he met, he changed their name to something. You hear what I'm saying? He was on the run. He had to keep moving. He was sentenced to death. When he went to church, he flipped over the tables. I bet you 9 times out of 10, he preached and he taught with his shirt off, probably his shoes off too. He probably had dreads. You hear what I'm saying? He was able to go to the Disciples neighborhood, to the Vice Lord's neighborhood. He was able to go to Florida. He was able to go to St. Louis. He was able to go to Watts up in the Haciendas. He was able to go up in the PJs and the Pueblos. So why they didn't like that? Why they didn't like that? Why they didn't like the cure? Why didn't these preachers, these pastors, these priests who's running the churches now, same people, they still in power, man. Why didn't they like him? They didn't like him. They executed him because he was bringing change. He was bringing the truth. You see, these preachers and these pastors, these priests, and all these people who these NPCs and low vibers worship, they get paid by Satan, man. They get paid by Satan to keep you in the loop. This year we listen about Noah. Next year we read about David. The next year we read about Esau, and on and on and on. The same damn loop. The same loop. It's like a curriculum or something like that. 5031C government. Is that the code 50C13? That's them. That's the same people who took out Jesus. They sat back and they said, "Hey, sweet Pastor Reverend, you see this guy from Nazareth? Yeah, he preaches with no shirt on. I seen his nipples. He must be blasphemous. He say he from another place. He's going to take the whole congregation. He's going to infect the flock. We ain't going to get no more money. We ain't going to get no more honey. We ain't going to be no more big pimping. We need to take this guy out." That's what they said about Jesus. He was interrupting their orgies. That's what it was, their spiritual orgies. He was interrupting it. He was too rude. He was too bold. Them pastors didn't like him because when T.D. Jakes preached, he would have stood up and say, "What is your sins, brother? Take off your shirt. Let me see your gluttonous ways, brother." So they had to take him out. You know how much money T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, and about 4 or 5 more of them put together, that's like about $8 billion, man. They can fund a small country. They can, man. You take 6, 7 of these preachers and 2 entertainers, and they can run a country like Chad in Africa, man. They got so much damn money and airplanes and all that. And Jesus, he was coming to smash on all that. He had all of the secrets. He could see they demons. He looked at that pastor and said, "Man, you's a power bottom. Get up out the damn pulpit. You's a power bottom, boy." That's why they had to take out Jesus. That's why they had to take out the chosen, because we could see the demons. We could see the programs. We live outside of the loop. Money comes to me easily, naturally, and effortlessly. You best to believe that. Anything I want, I get, because I serve an abundant God. And that's how Jesus was. He didn't want their money. He didn't want their honey. And trust me, Jesus wasn't funny. He wasn't this cool hippie dude. He just might sock you in the damn head. You see what one of his boys did to one of the soldiers? He chopped his damn ear off. If that was in this day and time, he would have shot him in the ear. You hear what I'm saying? You see what type of dude this is? You see why they didn't like him? Because he wasn't scared of them. He seen that the pastor was a pimp, was a slave master. That same slave master energy that was way back in the days, it's the same damn slave master energy that they got now. Samuel L. Jackson, the Django, all day long. dog, man. Now I'm about to go get me something to eat. And I'm going to think about this Jesus dude a little more, because I don't think he was this dude in this long hair and this robe walking around the desert and being nice and stuff, man. The tax collectors and the thieves and stuff wouldn't accept him if he was a buster type, passive type dude like that. If he was a buster type, passive, like beta male type dude like that, then trust me, he would have been up in somebody's congregation, up in somebody's community, being a yes guy. SR&BG, breaking the loop, Jesus, why did they kill him? That's why. Peace.